Okay, breaking news, breaking news. Oh my gosh. This is on Fox News right now as we speak. Diddy raid. Home in LA storm in connection to sex trafficking investigation. Live now from Fox.
Keep you updated, but it's definitely going to be quite a scene here for the remainder of the day. And when you see this number of law enforcement agencies coming together, making this type of raid to such a big, high-profile mansion like this, in a neighborhood like this as well, this is very thought out, methodical, planned out for days. So they base this on a number of information gathering that they've received as
Diddy's
evidence.
home being
What they're
raided. This
looking
is on the
for. So
news.
clearly,
This is
this is not
serious
something they
business.
do lightly. They really go through the process of making sure that everything is ready before they conduct a raid like this. So yes, this took a lot of planning for all these multiple agencies to come together to actually now conduct a type of raid like this, as you're seeing right now with this street also shut down for the time being. Because Haley, you could see the perimeter
Y'all
has
put
been set
hearts
up
in
in
the
that
chat.
neighborhood to keep just the public
Diddy's going
path
all the way
free from what is
down.
being done. And there you have the shot from Skyfox again.
Sex
Has the
trafficking
vehicle
investigation.
right next to all those luxury cars. You'll already see a Porsche, a G-Wagon, so many luxury cars right there on that property. So it is a very differing juxtaposition there of what you're seeing. But look at this mansion here in Holmby Hills where the raid is taking place. Again, we don't know what exactly they're looking for,
Thanks for
who they're
tuning
looking
in.
for, but again, this could possibly be linked to a sex trafficking investigation involving rapper Sean Combs, the music executive. But as you heard from Haley right there, she believes and she's been hearing that we do not think that Sean Combs is on that property at home right now. He may be in New York as this raid is being conducted. But we do know from our reporting that over the course of the year already, just as early as March this year, there have been several lawsuits filed against Sean Combs. So clearly this could be part of it. We are not sure at this point. But again, Stu, if you could hear me, what are you seeing right now in terms of your point of view?
Well, again, you saw some of those officers right there at that one of the back houses. They did bring a ladder in. They actually went out and brought that ladder into that property. You see it right there, and then they brought another ladder. So there's probably something inside this building right here that they are very curious about, or they were, like you said, it was very well planned. They knew they were going to need that ladder to make access. So there is something inside this piece of property in the back, as one of the back houses, that they have been very interested in getting at. We haven't seen them bring anything out. At one point, I can say, and when I keep saying that they didn't see them bring anything out, we did see them bring out what looked like a big plastic bin, but I don't know if that was something that they had brought in with them as far as possible tools that they needed. But that was the only thing that seemed to be out of the ordinary, and that did come out of that back house that we just showed you. This is that front area that you were just talking about moments ago. We watched as those Bearcats made their way up Mapleton to actually do this raid, and then we watched as officers were getting through one of the pedestrian gates over here on this side of the property. Once they had breached that, well, then they opened those
Diddy's
gates
home
right
being
there.
raided.
Those armored vehicles rolled in. They were very quick in whatever they needed to do to seize that home. That garage door went up very quickly, and it doesn't seem to be actually a garage inside there. We've been trying to peek in with the camera every now and then. It looks like there's a large table inside there, so that might have been an office area or some sort of staging area, and that's where we believe that most of the people that we see in custody came from. At least that's where we watched them exit this building with the officers early on when this raid was just starting. As it stands right now, you've got plenty of these armored law enforcement still walking the property. You see them walking in pairs. A lot less of those weapons out, so they are less on the defensive as it would be.
Diddy's home being raided.
Their way through that property, but I can tell you, every home that's on here, meaning there's 3 major homes. This one right here, there's a couple of officers still inside there. We know at least one officer is still inside here, so they're still standing.
Diddy's home being raided.
That they're doing. This isn't over.
Sex trafficking
I think this is probably
investigation.
underway. They just want to make sure that all these buildings are secure, and if there is anybody,
it's all over the news. Everybody reporting it. Yes, he's really going down. Oh, everybody's talking about it.
Very well planned, very quickly executed, and of course a number of officers out here. I couldn't even venture to say how many of these armored officers that are on the property. You can see them right there. This is just a small group. That was also one of the things. As soon as they made their way into that pedestrian gate.
Thanks for joining from the Netherlands.
Doors on that Range Rover, and then made their way into this portion of the home, and that's that garage that we've been talking about. That garage door went up very quickly, and then of all the people that we see come out of the building, that's where they all came from. They walked them out, put them in this little corner right here, and that's where they've been questioning them ever since.
Another ladder, as you were mentioning, a couple of ladders on site as part of this raid. I don't know what they're looking for or where they're trying to reach, but yeah, we did see somebody carrying a ladder. The second one on the property.
Oh, look at all
right
that people.
It does seem like there are 3 different buildings on this.
This is a live arrest, y'all. Look at this. Yes, Jay-Z next.
Knowledge in terms of what they are exactly used for, but yes, 2 smaller type houses on the lot as well, and of course the pool right there in the middle with the grass lawn. So clearly, yeah, this is going to take time, and that is why probably there's so many personnel on site to go through everything and do the search that they are conducting. We, again, don't know a lot of information in terms of what evidence they're trying to collect, who they're looking for, or why they made the raid to begin with. But again, this could possibly be involving the sex trafficking investigation. And again, when we get more details, of course, we'll bring it to you. But this is going to be a while. You see the Department of Homeland Security officers right there in that Bearcat. You know, this could be phase 2 of what to do now, what they're searching for, and making sure they have all their information they need when they conduct a raid like this and go through the process of going through that property. It is a big mansion indeed, owned by Bad Boy Films and one of Sean Combs' children. So again, this happening just about 20 minutes ago at this point. We do have video from earlier, if we could show you that, and we have been showing some of that to you in a bigger box as a juxtaposed to the live pictures you're seeing right now. But when they made entry, it was very methodical, and they did have many different law enforcement officials here as a unified operation, and a lot of
thanks for joining.
Sure that those entry points are secure and they're able to make entry all together with very, very little use of force. So clearly it is a process whenever you conduct a raid like this. So again, we do have Haley Winslow on the ground as well. She is pushed back to a certain perimeter though, so they're very differing vantage points that we can see. But if we do look at the ground shot there, you see law enforcement on the ground there as well. Haley, anything changing where you're at right now?
Just a lot more people showing up on scene. It's been pretty hectic out here. This all unfolded about 25 minutes ago, and I apologize that you couldn't hear me clearly earlier. It's very loud, especially we've got
my
from overhead. But basically, it all started about 25 minutes ago. 30 or so law enforcement vehicles that were from the Department of Homeland Security, LASD, of course LAPD assisting in this as well, and they pulled up to this home that's registered to Bad Boy Films, part of Bad Boy Entertainment, one of P.DIDDY's companies, and the home's also registered to one of his daughters. So they basically all got out of the 3 Bearcats. They went in. They were obviously armed. They pulled a few people out, as Stu was telling you, up in Skyfox. But we're hearing that P. Diddy may not even be here. We, of course, haven't seen him. We understand he may have flown on a private jet to New York, which I'm sure kind of threw off their plan, although this was very strategic.
Absolutely arrested.
So I would assume by now, whether he is in New York or not, that he is likely in custody if he is involved in this. But again, we are hearing that this is involving P. Diddy and sex trafficking charges. To what extent or with what details, we don't yet know. But of course, we will be on top of this all day. It's been, it was pretty hectic when we all rolled in. We kind of right behind the line of law enforcement vehicles as this was all unfolding, and we're since obviously behind this crime scene tape here in Holmby Hills. This is off Mapleton Drive here in the 200 block, where they are in front of this home that involves P.DIDDY, and we'll of course bring you the very latest as soon as we get it. It's a very active scene. You can see the officers actually right now. This is law enforcement officers from the Department of Homeland Security coming out right now. They're actually walking down the street in uniform. You see them right now, Sandra.
I
marching
do.
down the road.
Yes, from your vantage point, do you see them holding anything? Are they taking out any information? I can't really tell from where I am.
Tony, can you see?
Just brought out their law enforcement drone. It looks like they're putting that away now.
Yeah. Okay. They have
Tony, our photographer, he zoomed in a little bit better, so he's got a little bit better view. But yeah, it looks like it's their drone.
Okay, and we are hearing from TMZ at this point that P. Diddy, Sean Combs' home in Miami is being raided as well. Again, TMZ
Everybody's
reporting
talking
that
about it.
his home in Miami is reportedly being raided right now as well. So clearly a link in all of this, but as far as more information in terms of what they're looking for, why this raid is being conducted, so more questions than answers at this point. We're looking for answers and more clarity. So we're hoping to get more of that.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Let's see who else got it live. Hold on. Because everybody... Here we go. That's a huge house. I never would have thought in a million years that this is how he lives. I mean, his character. I thought he was a clean, upstanding businessman. That's just what I thought. Thanks for joining. Yes, Diddy's house being raided. Diddy's LA, Miami homes raided. Both homes being raided. Both homes being raided. Boots on the ground. Suited up. Camouflage. They ain't playing. I don't know why there isn't. I don't know what's going on with their volume because my volume is up. Hold on, let me see. Yes, they are innocent until proven guilty, but you know what? So many lawsuits been coming at him left and right, and everybody is not lying. And these people are not raiding this house without having some strong evidence. They are not. That's a big house. That's a whole lot of out upkeep. Look at the lawn. Look at the grass. All that fancy grass. Look at that. You have to really, really be making tons of money to live in that. You're talking about Homeland Security investigation. You're not talking about no local cops. This is serious business. Okay, let's go to another station. See if I could get a volume.
Those heavily armored gear and equipment, I don't think they're actually searching for any items that could connect to whatever the investigation is. I would venture to say that those are going to be the guys that you're seeing right there, and they're waiting for that all clear. And then this group that you see there, those are the ones that are actually going to go inside. They probably have, like you said, they probably have ideas where what they're looking for, where they might be. So, but right now it is still a waiting game to make sure that everybody is out of this building and that it is secure for the investigators to make their way in and actually start that search.
And we should mention, thank you, Stu, that if this is in fact involving a sex trafficking investigation, we do know that according to Diddy's attorneys and the rapper himself, he has denied any wrongdoing in any of all this. So there are two sides, of course, to this as this all plays out. But it is interesting that these raids happening at the same time, according to TMZ. A raid of his Miami home is happening right now, as well as now we're looking at the live
Both homes being raided at the same time.
at the
They
Glen
got
home right
something. They're
here,
not doing it for nothing.
connected to Sean Combs. So again, until we find out further word as to what exactly they're searching for and why, we continue to look at the procedures taking place regarding this raid that's being conducted by Homeland Security. You have support from local law enforcement officials as well. We saw from the ground shots, you see multiple agencies there a part of all of this, and they have a number of resources on hand with a drone flying up top, as well as they have ladders taking a closer look at certain parts of the property. And so they are looking at every nook and cranny they need to in terms of why they're investigating this home and property. So clearly, this is going to take a while. And as Haley mentioned, with her shot down on the ground right there, more people are coming to your area, Haley.
Yeah, I would say it's mostly media at this point. We were the first ones here on scene, but yeah, since there's probably a dozen different media agencies, yeah, it looks like his homes on both coasts are being raided. We still have not gotten word on exactly where P Diddy is, if he is in fact in New York right now or in Los Angeles, and of course, yeah, we haven't seen him here in Holmby Hills. This is right off of Sunset and Beverly Glen, and it all unfolded, I'd say, about 30 minutes ago. They're at his home here. They're also at his home in Miami. Of course, it's a little bit calmer, I would say, than it was about 20 minutes ago when it all happened. The guns that were drawn earlier have been since put away. They looks like they just put away their drone, but of course doing a thorough job of checking the home for any kind of details that they can come up with related to these allegations against sex trafficking. As you said, Sandra, there's several lawsuits against him for these allegations, all of which he has denied. So we will have to wait and see. Of course, and everybody's interested in the details of what how he's connected to these latest allegations.
And from your
So we
vantage
will bring
point,
the very latest. I'm sorry.
yeah, from your
Thanks for tuning in.
The vehicle's moving to a different location
Yes, we're watching P. Diddy.
the hill. But if you go
Both of his homes is being raided for sex trafficking.
earlier, have since kind of gone to the other
The
side.
LA
This is
home
obviously a
and the Miami
good.
home.
I said earlier, Humphrey Bogart's former house, I think, is next door to P. Diddy's in the 200 block here of Mapleton and Holmby Hills off of Sunset near Beverly Glen. So the vehicles have basically just moved forward. You're seeing a lot more of those law enforcement officers from the Department of Homeland Security, though, back here on the street in Mapleton since they've come out of the home after they've done their thorough investigating inside that beautiful home belonging to P. Diddy, to Sean Combs. So I don't think they have any intention, Sandra, on going anywhere anytime soon. And overhead, you can see law enforcement helicopters and, of course, Stu up there in Sky Fox.
Thank you so much, Haley, for that perspective on the ground right there in front of that Holmby Hills mansion. Stu up in Skyfox, it looks like, yes, there are some more law enforcement, but in different attire. Should I say suits instead of body armor?
Definitely, and you know, and we all know how that works. The suits are going to be the investigators and probably the ones that are running the show. And again, I still think that they are just waiting for that green light for them to be allowed to make their way inside the property and to make their way to the area.
ABC News is dropping it.
They probably are pretty specific. I don't think they're just going in randomly. And again, this is just a guess. I don't think they're going in randomly, just going through, everybody's stuff inside there. They probably have an area that they know or an office that they're going to be looking into or some computers that they might want to.
Okay, let's see what ABC News says.
Law enforcement sources are telling ABC News that right now authorities are carrying out searches at properties associated with P. Diddy. This is all part of a federal investigation into human trafficking. They also say that this investigation has been ongoing now for several months. They add, our sources, that an arrest does not appear to be imminent at this time, but what you are looking at right now is live video of one of these searches being conducted. Now, this is a search that is happening at Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles home. This is in the Beverly Hills area, so you can see a tremendous amount of law enforcement present there all around that home. So this search just began here. There's also, as we understand, another search being conducted on the other side of the country in Miami, because we are hearing from Homeland Security that there are investigations going on using the assistance of HSI Los Angeles and HSI Miami, along with local law enforcement partners. We do understand that they will provide us with updates as possible, but this goes into multiple allegations against Sean Diddy Combs over the years. There have been several civil suits against him as well, including human trafficking, all of which he has denied as this has been ongoing. But again, clearly an escalation that we are
I guess
seeing
he's the
right
black
now.
Jeffrey
I
Epstein,
want to bring in our ABC
Harvey
International
Weinstein.
attorney Brian Buckmeyer, who I know,
Mm-hmm.
Brian, you have been following this case for many months, and you bring it up to me all the time. And now I wouldn't call this the culmination. In fact, probably this is just the beginning, right? So what do you make of the fact that they've decided to carry out these two searches simultaneously and on other sides of the country here?
So, Kayla, you're right. I've been talking to this about this for too long. But what does it get you? What does a person need to have the ability to search a home? Probable cause. So what I'm doing is I'm looking backwards. How could a judge grant the ability to search these two homes, and why would you do it simultaneously? Probable cause being the belief, or at least having the quantity of information that a crime either did happen, is happening, or is going to happen.
Right.
That's how law enforcement must have to prove to a judge or a court why they have the opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
the legal ability to search someone's
To
home.
search someone's
Why would
home.
you do it in conjunction from one property and another at the same time? Law enforcement typically does this because they are worried that information or property or evidence may be hidden away or destroyed while you're searching one property. And so they're looking for something to corroborate the belief that they have that a crime did occur. And as you pointed out earlier, he's facing multiple allegations of sex trafficking. So perhaps that is a crime in which they're investigating. Perhaps that is what they're trying to seek more information from. But in order to search a home, you have to have probable cause. The only question is, probable cause of what?
Probable cause. And so, Brian, as you look at this and you watch this, and we'll shout if we see any more movement on these screens. But it is important to note, right, that this is all being run out of the Southern District of New York here. So there is a tremendous amount of coordination happening within law enforcement at the highest levels.
Absolutely. And the reason why I believe it's being coordinated out of the SDNY, or the Southern District of New York, which encompasses, for the most part, Manhattan, is a lot of the civil allegations stem from there, whether it be Cassie or the other four
Thanks for the thumbs up.
lawsuits that stem from it afterwards. And so what it appears to be, at least if you're thinking this is connected to the civil lawsuits, are that the SDNY is coordinating with the other agencies in Miami as well as Los Angeles to search the properties of Sean Combs to see if there's any evidence of that. Now, I can't think of anything off the top of my head what would be evidence of sex trafficking, predominantly something that might stick out as to something to corroborate what we've heard in these civil allegations. But if they find it, it could lead to further investigations. At this point, we're hearing that there's no potential arrest, but it doesn't mean there won't be one in the future based on either more information collected or if they're finding whatever it is that they're hoping to find in these two locations.
And Brian, we do want to mention that we were initially told what we were showing our viewers here is a home in Los Angeles, California, near Beverly Hills. That is not the case. What you're seeing on your video on your screen is in fact Miami, and then they are also searching a home simultaneously in Los Angeles in the Beverly Hills area at the exact same time. And to Brian's
Those
point,
poor
law
children.
enforcement does that often in an effort to make sure that these searches can be conducted without sort of tipping off anyone else that might be involved, which doesn't give anyone any time to do anything questionable with
Thanks for joining.
We're getting a larger shot there. You can see now just how close that home is to the water as our affiliate helicopter is flying over this home again in Miami as it is being searched.
Thanks for joining.
Bring in our ABC News contributor and former
Yep, they're raiding both of P. Diddy's homes, Miami and LA,
But Brad,
for
as
sex
you're watching
trafficking.
this, first of all, can you explain to us, Brad, what that vehicle is that we're seeing right there, that big white truck?
Well, I can't see, I don't have a screen up to see it, but if it looks like a cargo truck or looks like any sort of truck that you could put evidence into, so since we don't know kind of what they're looking for, I can give you a list what I think they're looking for, is that you have to have a crime scene search vehicle to go in with the various things you need to do to search. So my guess is it's that, because my sense was they weren't going there to arrest anybody. This was to do a search. And so they took everyone probably from the evidence response teams of maybe the FBI and DHS to do this search.
Yeah, so a large vehicle to collect evidence. It does also look like it has some kind of satellite up in the air as well. We're also seeing local news in the area, and you're seeing law enforcement, Brad, sort of walking down a very long driveway to enter the home, and you're not seeing, it's not a chaotic scene at all. Definitely not. And you're right. Our sources are saying that an arrest at this point is not imminent.
Right. So, quickly, why were they able to go in there? To Brian's point, how did they convince a judge to go in there? You have to have a link directly to these two houses. In other words, do they have video of some of these acts that are being alleged in either?
They got something. Those
are there witnesses?
the government is not investigating for nothing.
Can they put acts in these houses? Maybe they were there firsthand. Is there CCTV that can be seized? Does he actually have video that he collected while these acts were going on? It's not uncommon in these types of cases. So it's all about what happened in those houses. That law enforcement
It's a lot of sex tapes in those houses.
Inside these houses.
All right, thank you so much for that analysis. I also hope we can get some video up of the raid that's happening in Los Angeles as well so that we can learn a little bit more. But in the meantime, you're seeing, again, more video of P. Diddy there. But again, we are talking right now about a simultaneous search of two of his properties, one happening in Miami, the other one happening in Los Angeles. And we just have some new reporting. We're told here by our ABC's Aaron Katursky that the women who have made public accusations against Diddy are welcoming Monday's law enforcement activity, we're told. In fact, there is a statement from one of their lawyers where they're saying we will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those who have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for what they call his depraved conduct. And so I want to bring back in here Brian Buckmeyer. And Brian, it was the first thing we talked about, right? That this is not the culmination of this. This potentially could be the very beginning. So, Brian, what do you make of, first of all, that the lawyers are jumping right out to talk about
Thanks
this
for joining.
immediately, not wasting any time to draw attention to it?
Well, this is beneficial not only for their clients, but also for their cases. If we look to the last alleged victim, Rodney Jones Jr., who came out with allegations that seem to be very similar to Cassie, as well as the other three women who brought allegations, he said that Sean Combs has cameras throughout his home that records a lot of his events. In his complaint, that being Jones Jr.'s, he had snapshots of video that he had taken himself. And so to Brad's point, I think part of this, if the SDNY and the federal government is looking into this from the lens of these civil allegations, is to see how much of it is true. And if any of this is true, could criminal charges be levied against Sean Combs? Now, some of these civil allegations came up because of a look-back window for civil allegations to be brought through New York's Adult Survivor Act. But some of these charges, like sex trafficking, have no statute of limitations, and they have severe penalties under the law. And so law enforcement be looking at this and saying, if these are true, and there are videos, and there are cameras, or that these allegations can be corroborated through what we find in Sean Combs' home, then they will move to the next step, which would potentially be evidence collecting or arresting someone.
And Brian, if you can, just quickly, while we only have a few more moments here, help our audience understand how far back they're looking. I mean, some of these allegations stem some 30 years ago.
Yeah. They never thought it would happen. Oh, they wasn't going to get caught.
Yes, a lot of these allegations, just from the lawsuits, I think stem back from 93 or 94 and go all the way up into the production of his latest album.
And he was popping in the 90s with all those parties.
So we're talking about a long span of time, but even just outside of those lawsuits as well, there has always been these kind of whispers or rumors in the background as to Sean Combs' involvement to various activities. If you're talking about Cassie's allegation of him being part of Kid Cudi's vehicle being exploded, or other allegations of assault or shooting or sexual harassment from Rodney Jones Jr. and the other four alleged victims. This is a long investigation. I think this is only the beginning because there's a lot to have to corroborate from the people who have come forward, and also potential of people who we haven't seen come forward to see what evidence they have and to see whether or not it's true, rumor, or something in between.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer and Brad Garrett, thank you so much, both of you, for your expertise. I will be continuing to cover this story as it develops because, again, as we came on the air, that had just happened, and as soon as we learn more, we will bring that to you live.
Okay, let's go to the next news station.
Many cabinets, many closets, and potentially many electronic devices. They're going to be looking for phones. They're going to be looking for tablets. They're going to be looking for security footage. They're going to be looking for anything that might record data or receive an email or send a text. So there is just a ton of work ahead for these investigators.
All right, Nicole DeBoer, we can't.
Let's see another one. Hold on. Here we go. It's Fox 5, Washington, D.C. He even went so far as to drag his children down with him. This is his home in L.A., Homely Hills. Mm. Okay, let's find another station that has their volume on. Let's see. With so much going on, Trump going on, Diddy's home being raided. Okay, let's go back
The
here.
Department of Homeland Security conducting a raid at a house in Holmby Field Hills, believed to be connected to Sean Combs, the rapper and music executive, perhaps being linked to a sex trafficking investigation. Let's go live to Stu Mandel up in Skyfox right now for more. Stu, what do we know?
Yeah, I heard her say you were live. Copy.
All right, there you see Skyfox overhead of this home where, again, we are seeing Department of Homeland Security investigators in this home now. Let's go to Haley Winslow, who's live on the ground right there. Haley, what do we know?
Sandra, this is going to turn into a huge scene that is going to be an all-day thing, and it involves, yes, P. Diddy. The home is actually registered to Bad Boy Films, which is a division of Bad Boy Entertainment, basically his company, and the home's registered to that and to his daughter. Now, from Skyfox, Stu up there, he got some shots of a few people coming out of the home. Those people have been detained. Now, we're trying to still connect the dots. We do have some sources on scene here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just
Ooh.
unfolded, Sandra, I would say, less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this
Arrest
street,
him.
right now to the right, you'll see one of those
Ooh.
Bearcats and law enforcement. And on the other side of those bushes, basically, is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films, which is part of Bad Boy Entertainment. And the home, in particular, is registered not only Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters. Now, we are hearing from law enforcement sources that this involves sex trafficking, but we don't yet know to what extent or the details about that. But you better believe we will be on this all day.
Okay, yes, this is breaking news. P. Diddy's homes are being raided in Miami and in L.A. It is breaking news. Now let's go back to the broadcast.
Where, as we go to where 2 homes owned by rapper Sean P. Diddy are being raided by authorities as part of an investigation related to sex trafficking. Arrests have been made with a number of men taken away in handcuffs.
Choppers could be seen.
Wow. Oh, he's going down. They arresting people on TV. He's done.
At either home.
Let's bring in US broadcaster Cooper Lawrence. Morning to you. This is a major operation. Search warrants carried out. We understand the Department of Homeland Security is executing some sort of search. What do you think is happening here?
Good morning, Nat and Sherva. Well, basically, the fact that the Homeland Security folks are involved says that this is more than just the sexual assault allegations. This is something that they think is going on in the home. I was just given a statement, actually, specifically from his attorneys that said we will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible, et cetera, et cetera. So there's some questions now as to his culpability in all of this, because it first seemed like this is something that went on at his house without his knowledge, but now both sides have issued statements. His side is saying they're cooperating, and then the lawyers that are working on behalf of the U.S. government are saying that we don't care that he's famous. We're going to prosecute regardless of, as long as we find something, and if it's prosecutable, we're going after him. We don't care that he's famous.
So, Cooper, as you said there, he's been associated with some legal troubles, including the alleged sexual assaults, lawsuits that are currently underway, and also sex trafficking. Are you saying that this isn't related to that?
Well, there have been several videos posted of individuals in handcuffs. So far, we haven't, at least I haven't identified any of them to be Sean Combs himself, but they seem to be people associated with him, and that's usually how Homeland Security starts. They start with the outer circle and work their way in. So these are people that are involved with Sean Combs, but we don't know how involved or who specifically they are yet. The identities have not been released to us, but it is his home, and it would be hard to think that he doesn't know anything about something going on in his own home. We will have more soon. They're releasing the information in little bits at a time, but the helicopters are there, and we're watching the arrest happen in real time.
Yeah, and this is, on social media there is some speculation that two of those people could be two of his sons. I think he's got, 7 children, and there is speculation that two of them could be King and Justin. That is unconfirmed at this stage. To people just watching at home, they may recognise this guy's face. He's a billionaire worth a lot of money. He's won three Grammys, nicknamed Puff, P.DIDDY.
Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy. This guy's a major deal in the music industry, isn't he, Cooper?
He is, and the important thing to understand here is that Homeland Security is a major organization. So if they're involved, there's evidence and there's a reason
Absolutely.
why they're there. And with somebody that is at his level in terms of his value, how much he's worth, how important he is, they would not have gone in if they didn't have some pretty solid evidence.
Right.
Against, whether it's against him or whether it's against people in his inner circle. Again, we're not sure if he's directly involved, but this is going on at his house.
So he's directly involved.
He's involved or not, we don't know for sure. But I will say that Homeland Security going in with guns drawn tells you that they have some very serious evidence, and we're going to be hearing more about that as the days go on.
Yeah, this is major news in Hollywood, isn't it? Of course, those two homes of Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, call him what you will. Cooper, appreciate your time. We're going to continue this story as we watch live shots there. Just one of those homes, Holmby Hills in California in LA, quite a wealthy, well-to-do area, an enclave actually not far from the Playboy Mansion in LA. You can see that there, the home of Sean Diddy Combs.
Okay, let's see if we can find another. One more news station. I want a news station. This is really something. This is really big.
Hey, Lies is on fire. Hey.
Okay. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in to the live. You all please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you'll be notified when I'm dropping new videos. Bye and be safe.